Welcome back. Smooth in Crypto. I'm your host, Maxwell Smooth. You guys are absolutely running up the numbers on my last video. I'm so happy that people are coming in talking to me. A big thing that I'm doing is best comment of the video. I'm going to be doing a video on that the next day. So this one is from Extremely Desirable. Shout out you for commenting. He said, "Can you go into detail on what are Dapps and how to use them? Also, what are your thoughts on liquidity providing on Pulse Chain and permanent loss, and which liquidity pools to join and why?" So, Dapps are applications built on top of blockchain. In this case, it'd be Ethereum right now, Pulse Chain when it releases, and these are decentralized applications instead of normal applications that are centralized. Sole party runs these things. These are completely decentralized. So someone will write a contract, a smart contract, deploy it, and it will be completely decentralized. No one's going to be running it. Once it's up, it's going to be running forever, and there's no it's immutable. So a big thing to take from that is that no one's running it. So they're not going to ask you for your keys, nothing, right? You just interact with it as much or as little as you want. They're very typical with certain things, especially on Ethereum being one of the first blockchains that are going to be that were able to even do this, right? Bitcoin released, and all it was a peer-to-peer cash, right? And then it was kind of gold, right? Internet gold. So once Ethereum came out, then people could write these smart contracts, and that's why a lot of people deploy on Ethereum comparative to a lot of different other blockchains. So basically, it's not going to involve buying and selling and this and that. It's really just based on the contract. It will have certain terms that this contract is going to do, and that's all it's going to do forever, right? Hex is a smart contract. Basically, you take your coins, you stake them, you earn T shares, right? Which over time will pay you inflation on Hex, and you get more coins. And that's all that contract does. Safe, immutable, 100% uptime. It's a beautiful process. So, some common examples of dApps include DEXs, right? PulseX, right? Uniswap, that kind of thing, right? That's one of the most popular example of a dApp that I could say, right? All you can do on those smart contracts, right, is run the code, interact with the code, buy, sell, and so on, right? Obviously, staking, there's liquidity providing, and liquidity providing is basically just combining two coins to make a liquidity provider token, and it'll just put liquidity into the market and be able to buy or sell depending on the liquidity of certain coins. So PulseX, Pulse Chain, PulseX, PHEX, Pulse Chain, PHEX. So um, it'll be all in a liquidity pool, so everybody's going to be in it at the same time. And what you'll do by earning putting these tokens in a liquidity pool is you earn trading fees and rewards for each of the tokens you hold. So, but there is a risk of impermanent loss, as extremely desirable said, and that will include tokens in liquidity pool changes relative to each other. This can happen if one token in the pool increases in value while the other decreases in value. In this scenario, the liquidity provider may experience a net loss even if they are earning trading fees and reward. So basically, if Pulse Chain absolutely rips to the upside and PulseX does not, then the coins you provided on each side are going to have a totally different ratio than when you initially put them into the pool. So if you put 100 Pulse and 1,000 PLSX, that's a 1 to 10 ratio, right? So if Pulse gets up and goes ballistic, right, and say it 10x's, Pulse X is going to 10x as well. But when you take out those tokens, you're not going to have 10x on each side, right? You're pretty much locked into whatever coins you have at that point because the monetary value that you put in isn't necessarily growing as fast as the original tokens would, right? It's the LP token has a value, Pulse X has a value, Pulse Chain has a value. Those do not say, all right, if Pulse is $1 and Pulse X is 10 cents, that'd be $1.10. No, that's not how a liquidity provider does. It's basically buying, selling of LPs. The more liquidity there is, the more the coins will be, and the less the coins will be. So it kind of goes up and down with liquidity. It's always changing. And if I could say which liquidity pools to join and why, I'm not much of a liquidity provider myself. I really don't like the even thought of losing, like having impermanent loss and losing value in my coins. So I'm pretty much off of that. I have some that I'm possibly going to do, mainly just PLS and PLSX. I could even see, PLSX, PHEX would be a decent one, but at the end of the day, it's going to be very, very hard to get the gains that you want by liquidity providing. Long term, if you are providing liquidity and you're getting those fees and network thing, right? It's almost beneficial just to keep them in there, keep the fees, and either continuously build your LP pairs or just take the profits and hold them as liquid coins. And it could be profitable, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a lot of risk. And it's important to carefully consider the potential downsides of it, right? You don't want to go in and the next day something 5x, 10x, 2x, whatever the case may be, and you lose value if you weren't willing to do it a long term. So, in my mind, just kind of how Warren Buffett says, uh, don't invest into anything unless you're willing to hold it for 10 years plus. If you are not willing to provide liquidity for at least 10 years, in my opinion, I wouldn't do it. But if you're willing to play the long game and, get those fees and network, uh, just let it run and keep building those, that's fine. But, you know, there's still going to be fees you're going to have to pay to get them in and out, right? And there's going to be a lot of decision making when it comes to when you should get in, when you should get out, if you should let it ride, that kind of stuff. So I appreciate extremely desirable for comment on the video. If you have any other video ideas, please let me know. I hope I did a decent job in explaining my thoughts, at least on this comment. And you know, I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Please, if you found value, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate absolutely every single one of you that views and comments. Love talking to you guys. I'm going to be doing a live stream later on this week. So just jump in there. Let's talk. Yeah, let's run up the numbers. Please leave a like if you made it this far. Comment LPs for the win. Almost. All right. LPs are neutral. That's what I'll say. If you made it this far, put in the comments LPs are neutral. All right, guys. Appreciate everybody. Till next time.